We're back.
Done.
Send into this creepy cave. Nothing wrong can happen. Wow, is that Brooklyn from... That's so stupid. I'm like, is that Brooklyn for gargoyles? From that angle, there's a lot... It's prominently featuring elements that you would make you compare. Nah. Distill. I'm gonna read it that fast. Wait. Hello?
A Tanari in my home? Of all the indignities! Why don't you invite your whole filthy species in?
Rude. You see a broken winged fiend. With one tattered wing covered in scars, his voice is clenched, angry, and despairing, issuing from behind gritted teeth. Feh! The fetid stench of Tanari. I can smell it for leagues. Show some respect for my home. Can't you find some fumes or acidic vapors to try and drown your scent? Feh! I'll never get that Tanari stench out of the place. It'll draw Batazu from all over the plains. I like the way she smells. It's pretty. Oh, and it's not just any Tanari, but a Tanari whore who's just walked into my home. Things can't get any worse. Come in, please. My home is your home. He waves his hands in the air in despair. Why don't you invite all the rest of your abyssal harpies into my home to torment me? I extend my greetings to you, Advocate Infernus Forked Tongue. Grace nods with a single blow. I will take your suggestion into consideration. Have you come to kill me? Torment me? If so, know that I still have much power at my disposal. I just want answers to some questions. Oh, wonderful! Tell me of Trias. Years of service as an advocate in Furnace. Painstaking detail and organization. I never questioned my superiors. I did all that was asked of me. I punished those below me with the cruelest and most inventive punishments when they failed. Then, one slip, and it comes crashing down, all due to chance, chaos, randomness, and the lesser races wonder why the Batazu wish the multiverse to be an orderly construct. He pauses, hissing in anger. The diva lied. It lied! Trias the betrayer tricked me into signing a contract, and I, blinded by the possibility of capturing him, walked straight into his trap. If he dies, the contract is over. But I have not been able to find him, and if I did, how would I harm him? What am I to do? Even these treacherous thoughts make my mind burn in pain. I was so sure I had that paragon of self-righteousness. That short-sighted greed cost me the rest of my centuries of glorious conniving and entombing me in this sinkhole of goodwill. Blah.
Updated my journal.
Stupidity is a sign of weakness. There is no injustice in an advantage seeker being taken advantage of. And now I am cursed to do good deeds, to aid those in need of aid. An eternity of curses on Trias, a pox on his blessed aid. May all the dung heaps of Malodomini rain down upon his head. He rants for a few more moments and then turns his attention back to you and speaks through gritted teeth. My contract with the diva now bids me ask what I can do for you. Have you come to torment me? Kill me? I come only seeking knowledge. Oh, wonderful. Tell me about yourself. I used to be one of the finest advocates in advocates in Furnace in Baitor. And then I suffered a setback. An overturning, a reversal of my good fortunes. Such things make me hate chance and the chaos of the multiverse all the more. What happened to you? I have said all I intend to say on the matter of the betrayer. He it was who condemned me to this life, and whose guts I will see stringing the gates of dawn like a celestial harp. No harm to the diva. Curses. How did your wings get that way? Oh yes, aren't they beautiful? They were the first things to be stripped from me before my exile. Before I was forced to flee the burning halls of my people, the wings were taken as trophies by the lowly Abishai, for banners in the blood war. My horns were snapped from my skull, and one was hollowed out as a drinking horn for my Lord Bel. Accursed be his name across the plains. Why did that happen? You know, he doesn't want to talk about the diva. What can you tell me about the blood war? Have you drummed your skull against every rock that falls from the mountain of ignorance? In the lower plains rages the blood war. There is not another plane that is not touched by this conflict. Think of the most hideous war imaginable, magnify it 1 billion times in time and scope, and you have a fraction of the battlefield for which the lower planes are fought. It is a war of ideology to define one of the most basic concepts of the multiverse. It gives research a prod. More horrific creations have come from. It gives research a prod. More horrific creations have come about because of the blood war. Why? Because it's pain and death and evil. The Tanari fight for chaos and evil. Evil through brute force and sudden flurries of whim and hate. Their evil is the evil of the Horde, a mob mentality of whirling evil. They kill and plunder. And the other side? The Batezu, which only strictly regimented evil, promoting the cause of evil in a precise, orderly fashion. The Tanari murder, the Batezu exploit. The two are determined to exterminate the other. Part of my assignment, and I was the best, mind you, was drafting new recruits, mostly planar warriors and mages from other worlds to serve as fodder and frontline troops in the war. Word has it that I caught the eye of Lord Bel himself. Even he saw my worth. Now my humiliation is complete. Do you recognize me? He scrutinizes you closely for the first time. Memories run like hollow canyons through my mind, almost human. Many creatures have I met in an immortal's time, though I do not believe you were among them. Forked tongue shrugs. You all look alike to me, and I think I would have remembered the scarred flesh of your body. It is much like the breathing paintings that bedeck Bel's gallery of skins in Baitor, except with less grace and more passion in the scar strokes. The violence is great, nearing acceptable levels, but the scars are applied with almost Tanaric crudity, without any care for maximizing the pain of the recipient. A Batezu artist would be much more devoted to following the paths of pain across the body. Some of these wounds look to be clean kills. Others look as if a blind butcher were carving up human steaks. Human art makes me ill sometimes. Such potential wasted. Grace sounds bemused. Is Advocate Infernus Forked Tongue implying that we Tanari are a crude people? To say that Tanari are crude is to insult crudity. Any lesser race that revels in chaos allows itself to be pulled and drowned by its stagnant tides, and calls it evil. Are not a race at all. They are beasts. Surely you simply object to the implementation of evil rather than the decree. Many object to the, many among the Tanari would claim that the closer one is to the primal nature of evil, the more true they are to the ideal. Feh and double feh. Just loves that sound. The Tanari beasts want to strip law and order from the face of evil. Inexcusable. Intolerable. I cannot. From a Batezu point of view, it may indeed seem intolerable. However, Advocate, many Tanari philosophers would argue that the Batezu are to be no less excused for excising passion from violence. Excising passion from the very essence of evil. Batezu would replace rage with cold, methodical cruelty, and thus the old debate continues: which is the greater evil, efficient evil or passionate evil? Pfft. You say that simply because you are what you are. He wags his eyebrows at her. He waves his hand dismissively. At least I am still allowed to be cynical. Great. Let's get back to discussing my mortality instead of my scars. Very well. Very well. He scratches his head. If I recall correctly, and there is so much I do not, thanks to that accursed diva, I have heard of a case such as yours. It makes you immortal, does it not? Yes. If so, then death itself is no longer sacred. In my day, mortals remained so and knew their place. Now, everybody and their mother has the disease of eternal boredom. We should have a gathering and invite everyone across the plains and offer them immortal contracts. It would save us all the hard-working Batezu a great deal of effort. You know that if everyone was immortal, the entire petitioner system would be up the famed Fecal Creek. Immortality is not a trinket to be given to unruly children such as you. Be that as it may, but tell me what you know of my mortality. As I was saying, I recall hearing somewhere about a place called the Fortress of Regrets. He thinks for a moment. Yes, that's it. How do I get there? He smiles widely. I am pleased to inform you that I do not know. Not at all. I cannot help you get there, and that chills my heart in such a delightful way. No, I cannot help you. Oh, how I've longed to say those words. How sweet they taste. Do you know someone who does? 350,000, damn. Enough of your cross-examinations. Yes, I know somebody who might know. On Baator lies a pillar of betrayers, liars, and sages. Despite their nature, their knowledge is considerable. They might know where you can find this Fortress of Regrets. How do I get to Baator?
Updated my journal.
Hold on, Chief. Baator is bad news. This fiend is probably holding out on us, and even if there is a pillar of skulls, we can probably find someone else who knows how to reach this fortress without going to one of the most dangerous places in the multiverse.
Are you holding out, Forked Tongue? Have I not told you of the nature of this cursed contract? I cannot withhold this information. The pillar is your only hope. Morte, why don't you want to go there?
It's a dangerous place, Chief. I'd rather not go. I've been, and it's all pretty, and it isn't pretty, all right?
Well, We'll talk about this more later. Forked tongue, I have some questions. How can morons speak so much? He waves his hand. Speak. What are you doing? I was simply living my life in pain-numbing and tragic solitude until you appeared without invitation into this crater of my life. The crater, such a metaphor for my life, for my existence, a pale shadow of the dwellings I used to possess. What happened to you? That accursed diva is what happened to me. So secure I was, so sure. Stripped of my power like a fledgling. No wonder it is that the hordes of Baator's marshals seek me. Tell me of trees? No, we've been there. Where is this place? A blasted crater in the Outlands that reflects the emptiness and hollow of my life. I need little. Marrow from the creature supplies me with food, and peculiar energies of the place prevent scrying fools from finding me. Those idiots, apparently, can still find their way here. Oh, though idiots can still find their way here. We're the idiots. I'm the idiots. What is this creature? This is the skeleton of Ulgoris, the father of the Goristro. They're living bear-like siege towers, juggernauts of chaos, huge, practically unstoppable, highly resistant to magic, and Ulgoris's bones, in the crater where he fell to his death, radiate much enchantment that prevents magic to spy me, keeping this pitiful frame alive for a few more desperate years. I'm in need of some aid. He emits a strangled croak. I have some few, very few, items that I've accumulated over the years. They are precious to me, but if you need them... I sure do. Let's see what you've got. He snarls. I entertain no thoughts of strangling you and leaving your corpses for the Trellons. A green lozenge? What is this? He sighs. Adder's tear, that is. Put it in your mouth and you shall kiss like an adder, full of venom and hatred. The cruel axe. That is hatred's gift. A fine weapon for one such as yourself. I don't think you'll want it. There's a curse laid on it. Perhaps you should reconsider. A knotted string. That old thing? That is the Gordian knot. Cut it and you become twice the leader you are already. And of course it comes with its own price. One I am thankfully powerless to stop. Green steeled knife. A memento from my time in Baator. A knife carved from Baatorian green steel. One of the strongest materials I've ever known. Take my history and be done. Green-hued dagger? That old thing? It is but a dagger of Baatorian green steel. Holds an edge. It's nothing you would want, to be sure. The squirming bugs. Those? They are Cass eggs. Parasites that will lodge in your brain and devour your mental energy with no appreciable benefit. Cursed contract. They boost your mental power. Something you could surely use. Take them. I will. Of course you will. Is there anything else you require from your humble servant? Do you have any Do you happen to have any spells? You strip me of all my possessions. You want spells? This is what I have. Bloodsucker. He rattles off a list of spells. How about that chain lightning storm? His hand disappears as he reaches into a strange space/not space. He pulls out a scroll that feels largely like supple human skin and thrusts it at you. Ugh. Take it and be take it. You're to torment him now. I get to Baitor. It's definitely the same conversation again. I kind of got sucked into. I need a place to rest. What? I must endure your presence even longer? Will this torment never cease? Ugh. Fine, then. Fine. Spread out across the floor. Raid my larder. Knock over my experiments. I'll just be over here fuming. He storms off.
My skull leveled up. Look at him go.
Ding, some stats. The end. I guess you rest with the rest button here.
Yes.
I should have cast my healing spells first. Oh. I'm gonna get comments about that.
Lend me strength.
Boy, howdy will I.
A pleasure.
Does it also affect my...
Right.
Yep. Yep. You can literally just drag people on the screen. Wow. I don't think I've ever played a CRPG where you could drag the portraits, although I don't remember if I've tried before. Wow. None of my quests feature the main story right now. Interesting. There's a portal made under the left arm of the giant skeleton here.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
What do you think we should do next? And he's just like, you got me, Chief. Okay. That's it for now. We must be able to...
Fear that not all of us shall return from this place.
Must be able to find this portal. Thar be. Certainly not the overall like pacing and environment use I would have expected going in, especially with how heavily the game features one location so much. You spend so much time in Sigil and so much time in each location of Sigil too, aside from maybe the Alley of Lingering Sighs. And now we're just all over this place as fast as possible. I'm in the Outlands still. Carcery is marked. Have I been to Carcery? Was the prison counting as Carcery? Yeah, it turns out we are in fact filling in all these chunks of map everywhere. Hi.
There's nothing.
He's dead. You know what? Got too long without turning the sound effects down. They're just too much. Remember when these were dangerous? Anyway.
This thing will not burn. Endure. In enduring, grow strong. Insert the Morte's name. All right.
They're obviously more common than initially expected, but when I first started this game, I was very caught off guard when we finally did enter a place where you just run around and murder everything. Just because I got so used to, like, the density of space, like the environments being used so efficiently and so packed with characters. So it comes as a bit of a surprise when you enter a big empty field and just kind of stab everything that's in your way, and then that's the whole zone. Or in the case of this game, the earlier examples would have been like caves and whatnot. Strange tunnels under the city. Where everybody just wants to do a murder on you. What's going on down here? What's going on down here? That's weird. It's weird there's just a chunk of map that doesn't fill in. It's such a specific square shape. Uh-oh. Not a damsel in distress. Oh, she's dead. Everybody run away. The hilarious, wobbly men are coming after us. Set attack. God, they're so slow. Dude, that damsel in distress died instantly.
You will not escape my axe again.
Given the location, I fully expected that it was some kind of trap. And it kind of was that an ambush happened, but it wasn't in that, she didn't, like, turn around and come after me in some way. Who's doing that? Like, how actually dare you?
Done.
Well, this sure does appear to be the Tower of Babbling Skulls I've heard of. And I think once seen during that strange dream. The dream machine didn't give me much to go on. It kind of just threw some vague imagery at me that I have no context for at the time. So I can appreciate that now some of the stuff I've seen kind of was like from it, but it was so rapid fire and so without narrative. That it didn't exactly seem like it was worth the efforts I went through. The sight of this thing, this horrible, towering, pulsating thing, fills you with nausea, unfounded loathing, and a faint scent of familiarity. The innumerable rotting heads which make up the vast pile seem to constantly shift and throb, alternately bickering, weeping, conversing, shouting, and whispering to one another. Heads constantly bubble to the surface of the stack from somewhere within its foul core, while others sink back into the grisly pillar. Get the player's attention, wouldn't go wrong. As you make the step closer to the pillar, Mort hisses to you.
Psst. Chief, listen. I can't let that thing see me. You gotta get me out of here. Drop me off somewhere. Pick me up later or something.
Why, Mort? What's going on?
I don't really like to talk about it. Let's just get moving, yeah?
Mort's voice trembles with fear. His eyes flicker back and forth between you and the massive pillar of heads. Aw, is it your family? You don't go home? I can't have you keeping so many secrets, Mort. You've got to tell me what's going on.
Updated my journal.
Mort sighs, unable to meet your stare. At last, he relents.
Fine, I'll tell you. There's this pillar on Avernus, the first layer of Baator, built on the heads of all who've led others to their deaths through lies. Well, that's it right there. See, that's where I ended up, go figure.
So, you were one of these heads?
Yeah, I told exaggeration or two. That's just one of my suggestions. It's just that one of my suggestions led to your death. One of them. Maybe others, I don't really know. Those memories are gone now.
How many times have you killed me, Mort? I see. Mort stares at your feet. You've never seen him look so miserable.
Those memories, they... Look, Chief, I don't even remember being human. I don't remember what life was like before the pillar.
Daikon, staring into the distance, speaks quietly. It is like cupping water in one's hands. Jesus. Mort glances at Daikon, then you.
Yeah, I guess. And that's pretty much the way of things when you die. You forget. I figure I wasn't a sterling member of the community when I was alive, but hells, who is?
Mort sighs again.
It's just that I can't help it. Nothing's worse than being honest all the time. But look, Chief, if that pile of heads sees me, it'll want me back bad. You can't let that happen.
Wait, how'd you get free of the pillar?
Well, you pulled me off, Chief. I fought my way to the front of the pillar. You've been here before, you know, yammering and howling until you noticed me. I begged to be freed, swearing that I'd follow you, share my knowledge until your final days. I just didn't realize how long that'd be. Until after you'd already torn... I just didn't realize how long that'd be until after you'd already torn me free.
People keep swearing in debt to somebody that's immortal. Whoops. And all the pillar's knowledge.
Oh, that. Well, I also didn't realize I'd lose most of the pillar's accumulated knowledge once I was out of it. Piking powers. Did that ever set you off? But you kept me around just the same. And at first I felt bound to you. That maybe your sorcery had turned me into some kind of familiar. But after a couple hundred years, I realized it was more than that. Something deeper. More than just a debt of gratitude, too. Though that sure as hell's had something to do with it. I just felt drawn, connected to you somehow. Maybe it's all your suffering, Chief. Your torment. I don't know. Maybe I likened it to my own when I was in that pillar.
Why didn't you tell me you... Goddamn. Why didn't you tell me you knew me back in the mortuary? Mort suddenly becomes defensive.
Because I never know who you're gonna be. Because I never know who you're gonna be. Most of your incarnations have been stark raving mad. One time you awoke obsessed with the idea that I was your skull and chased me around the spire trying to shatter and devour me. Luckily you were crushed by a passing cart in the street. Another, good and lawful, you tried to thrust me back into the pillar because it's where I belonged. Mork smirks. That's why.
That's why. Besides, no harm's ever come to you for not knowing. So I was right, each one of them's a different alignment. There was a lawful one. A lawful neutral one, I guess, because if they were lawful good, they might have seen a problem with the law there. I don't know. Just how long have you known me, Morte? Don't know. Ages, I suppose. I've done all I could to help you find your way back each time, and... Morte sighs, then lifts himself up to meet your gaze. You rarely make it this far, Chief. I mean it. Only 4 or 5 times, I think. This could be the time that you makes it. Finds out what's going on. All right, let's leave, Morte. Let's see. I need somewhere to put him. I guess it doesn't work there.
I'm gone.
Told me to leave him behind, but I can't go anywhere else, so... How do I kick him out?
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
Do I need to, like, research how to do this? Reform party.
You know, Chief, it's almost as if you don't love me anymore.
Morte, you told me to leave you.
I'm gone.
Alright, back to getting its attention. You take another cautious step towards the pillar, and all their conversation abruptly stops. The dozens of heads that line the pillar's surface slowly turn to face you in unison. They regard you silently, their breath fetid and moist upon you. I had some questions, Pillar. Every head on the pillar's surface speaks at once to make the thing's voice a terrible, burbling sound that bubbles forth while foul, stinging vapors and putrid corruption stream from their mouths. The smell, 'tis strong. It shall cross the plains soon, and Bel will come. The smell? What do you mean? The head's eyes turn wetly in their sockets to stare at Fall from Grace. The smell, her musk, the Tanari musk, a bittersweet scent carries and will attract Batezu. Soon their Lord Bel will be angry. I see. The heads turn their gazes back to you, though a few still snuffle noisily. If have you questions for us, you had best be quick. A few of the heads squint and gurgle softly. You think they might be laughing at you. It's weird to unpack the story where I've apparently been here multiple times. I just don't entirely know what to do about that mentally, where I'm like, we can't be retracing our steps. This isn't like a 51st date situation where I redo the same sequence of events over and over again. Like, there's people that die each time that would not seemingly come back. There's so many. The vast majority of characters haven't met me, and this is seemingly the first time I've ever used Ravel to get here, when that seems like the most obvious important step, but I don't know. Makes me wonder how you explain the through lines each time and how they got around, because all the people, like, I'm following a specific chain I'm following like a specific chain of knowledge here that apparently I don't normally follow because no one here knows who I am, and I permanently change the state of some of these people while I go here. The heads turn their gazes back to you, though a few still snuffle noisily. If you have questions for us, you had best be quick. A few of the heads squint and gurgle softly, and you think they might be laughing at you. As I said before, then, I had some questions. The heads shift sluggishly across the face of the pillar, nodding and murmuring before speaking in its ghastly voice. Ask a question of us, then, and be prepared to hear our demands. You shall render unto us a service for your answer. How do I reach the Fortress of Regrets? The heads gurgle and croak their reply through rotted lips. We would answer that question for a service. What's your demand, Pillar? The pillar leans towards you, and the eyes of its heads narrowing. There is knowledge you possess that we wish for ourselves. Where does the fiend Fuel Forked Tongue reside? Tell us, and we shall answer your question. The stench of the pillar's hot breath surrounds you as it awaits your reply. Yeah, I mean, he is evil. It's not really a problem to betray him. I mean, he specifically wishes me ill. He's just being forced to help me. In the Outlands, where Ulgoris, father of Olgoristro, was laid low in the Crater War, Fuel lives within its skeleton. In the belly of the beast, you might say, where Fuel would go. The pillar savors your gift for a time, its heads cooing and whispering to another. And my answer? Already you possess the key, and need only the location of the portal that shall lead you there. We know not where the portal lies, but might tell you its key. Regret. Many of the pillar's heads begin to weep and moan. Yes, regret. Regret. Regret.
Updated my journal.
Yes. You must have experienced regret to breach the fortress. Write it upon a piece of your flesh, and your passage to the portal is assured. And the portal? You say you don't know where it is? Yes. Only 3 have known the way. The first one was you, though you have forgotten now. The second lies beyond the portal, and shall not emerge. The third one you've already met. They know of your condition, the fortress, and your need to reach there, but they shall not help you. Their shield is one forged from the cold metals of lies and deception, a thing you cannot hope to break with mere words. You must do battle with them. I had to battle a liar? Who is it? The heads remain silent for a time, giving you naught but smug replies. Finally it speaks. You have met the liar, and not for the first time. The liar knows but did not tell you. A petty betrayal between immortals. Some of the decomposing heads roll their eyes and snicker at you. Oh, who is Lothar? Planescape Lothar. The Master of Skulls from earlier. Okay. So it probably isn't Fuel because he's incapable of lying to me. And Ratville seemed honest with me. Trius is known as Trius the Betrayer. He's betrayed people before. Trius?
Updated my journal.
Oh, yes. Though we know him by his full name, Trius the Betrayer. The pillar shakes with mirth, the pile of rotting heads tottering back and forth as it laughs at your distress. A few of the heads chant mockingly, Betrayer, betrayer, Trius the betrayer. Well. So he just sent us on a... He's just wasted our time for the last few hours because he knew the answer and sent us to go bother this demon instead. But why would he lie to me? The answer is not ours to give. You must seek him out yourself and ask him. Apparently I should have just attacked him. How did he come to know this? Trius exchanged words with you once, long ago, when you knew the way. You spoke your heart, and Trius, in the way of all great betrayers, listened well to build your trust. Short the conversation was, though filled with meaning. Meaning and death is what you seek. Two separate things they are for a normal man, but for you, one and the same. Who are you? Yeah, alright, what is your service? Apparently I need to get even that question requires a cost. The Pillar of Skulls is a pillar of living heads, composed of those whose lies sent others to their deaths. It can answer a number of questions as it knows a great deal, but it expects a great deal of payment for its services. One should not ask it such questions. The heads interrupt with their own one voice. Silence! You demean our noble station with such casual talk. A particularly hideous head cries out. And to call all of us liars is... Before being sucked into the pillar's sickly heart. I had another question. Who am I? Jesus. That's who I am. There's an object in your possession that we wish for ourselves. The Modron Cube. Give it to us, and we shall answer your question. No, what if I want to go there again? The next they look at Falls from Grace. She will do, yes, the Tanari. Give her to us, and we will consume her alive. Bathe ourselves in her sweet blood. Then we shall answer your question. A number of the heads begin to moan with longing, calling to Grace. Yes, Tanari, sweet succubus, wicked thing, surrender yourself to us. And I won't do that. The mouth of every head on the pillar's face split in depraved, sickly grins. They chortle and barble, laughing at you. You have nothing for us, save yourself. Come, immortal, give us a taste of your undying blood. Then we shall answer your question. The heads clack their teeth together, drooling and smacking their split, pus-covered lips in anticipation. Very well, I agree to your demands. Approach us, then. Yes. Come closer. The heads seem to draw back within the pillar as you approach it. Step closer. Though you draw only a single step nearer, you suddenly find yourself much closer to the pillar's writhing surface than you'd imagined. Before you can react, it presses forward into you like a wave of broken bone and rotten, worm-infested meat. As the rancid darkness envelops you, the pillar's heads begin to consume you alive. Oh, maximum HP down. Damn. I thought there would be no consequences because I just come back from the dead. You find yourself standing before the Pillar of Skulls, aching and unsure of what exactly has just happened. What you are certain of, though, is that your body is somehow weaker for whatever ordeal it was suffered through. The grotesque heads leer down at you, grinning and smacking their lips. The pillars savor your gift for a time, and its heads cooing and whispering to another. And my answer? Not who, what? You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men. Each one, whether good or evil, a monster who casts a shadow upon existence. A shadow upon existence.
Updated my journal.
Oh yes! The pillars' heads narrow their eyes and smile grotesquely. Each time you die, immortal, you cast a shadow. Each time you die, another dies in your stead. These shadows, they gather, hungering for you. Within the fortress of regrets, how many times have you perished, Nameless One? How many hundreds, thousands have died because of you? I mean, seems like the hundreds of them have died this playthrough without me even dying. The pillar trembles with wicked glee. Its heads pull faces and gurgle mockingly at you. Suddenly the hair on the back of your neck rises, and you see Valor staring at you, his eyes burning brighter than you've ever seen them. Valor? You. It is you. How long have I hunted you, Nameless One? And how long I would stand beside you before the deception was exposed. As he hefts his axe into the air, pure power begins to course through him. His dedication, his incredible conviction is turning Valor into the literal, physical embodiment of justice. It is fate that has placed me so close to you, criminal. Justice shall be served. You shall fall beneath my blade, immortal, even if I have to stand over your struggling remains for eternity. Wow, this guy's really hard to keep in the party for more than 5 minutes, huh? Okay, I might just accept this one, consequence-wise. Spell behavior affected by the plane of Ballard. Vator. Yeah, but am I currently embalmed?
How may I help?
I will hear you.
I usually have a few more allies to work with at this point.
What do you wish of Ignis? Done. My axe again. I'm gone.
He is very slow. I almost died. Pretty sure I friendly fired myself again.
Balance in all things. All right.
I'm here.
It is I.
The flames await.
Got him eventually. God, the game's loud. I swear I keep turning it down even more and it somehow doesn't work. We are actually not gonna have space for all these fucking rings and stuff. Did I use his inventory for stuff? So I gave her all of them. I gave him all of her stuff. Guess I gotta go over here and go here. Hard to access these, okay. A spell is probably worth more than a bronze ring, although stilettos are trash. I love inventory. A dirty rat charm's not worth it. Rusty dagger's not worth it. Rings are probably worth more than these axes. These earrings are definitely worth more than one of these axes. The twisted ring is definitely worth more. Are they both full? Okay. I'm pretty sure stilettos are basically trash. They're giving me way too many of these. Okay. You know, thread's probably not worth it, but this twisted ring should be worth picking up. Adder's Tear probably sells for something at the very least. These stackable consumables tend to be worth at least something. The cranium rat thing I think is only worth one. I need to find a merchant if I ever get back to reality for 5 minutes again. It will be a welcome reprieve.
I'm gone.
He is out of heals.
I hear your words.
Well, you recently picked up all of these. Who has the other ones? You've got the blood charm. Okay, so he's got the one exception.
I will hear you.
Exciting healing montage.